What's going on, everyone? Max Power Baseball here, back with another video. Hope everyone's doing well and staying safe. The topic of this video is third-party grading. While I've been back into collecting baseball cards again for a few years now, it wasn't until about 10 months ago that I started getting into graded cards. Prior to the National in Chicago last year, I had never owned a graded card or even held one in my hands either. I didn't really care for the way they looked, and they also take up a lot more room to store. I just didn't get it. I didn't understand why somebody would want to pay a premium over a raw card. But that's the great thing about this hobby. We don't all have to collect the same way. I can't point to just one thing or reason that changed my mind on graded cards, because now I'm all in. I think it was a combination of several things that I was influenced by. First was that I had made a conscious effort with my collection to focus more on quality rather than quantity, so this also meant more higher-end cards. I was also watching a lot of other tubers' videos with their collections and liked what I saw. Finally, my brother had recently gotten back into the hobby, and he was concentrating mainly on graded rookie cards, so while I was at the National, he asked me to pick up some cards for him. Now, I'll flip the camera around and show some cards. I'm now in a position that I can afford to buy some cards that I couldn't when I was younger, as well as I'm comfortable spending more on cards. I did notice that while I could typically buy raw, ungraded cards for much cheaper than graded cards, the condition wasn't always very good. Plus, you also run the risk of getting an altered or fake card. And when you're spending sometimes significant amounts of money on cards, you want to make sure you know exactly what you're getting. So getting a card that was graded and authenticated by a third party became a great option to consider as a way to standardize all of this and make sure the cards are protected from damage. And it's also quite a bit easier to research comps to know what I should be spending. Of the different grading companies out there, I did decide to stick with PSA for my slabs rather than BGS or SGC, as I like the way that PSA looks better, and as the leader in the space, there's generally more of each card available, so it's easier to find what I'm looking for. These also do tend to sell for a premium over the other brands, so while it does cost me more to buy cards, if and when I do sell my cards, I can get more back for them. I've only been buying rookie cards, since generally these are the ones that hold the most value. I also tried to stick to a Gem Mint 10 when possible, especially for modern cards. Unless the price is just out of reach, then I'll settle for a Mint 9. But in many cases, it's difficult to tell the difference in the card's condition between the two grades, especially if you're not looking at them up close. After picking up a few of the classic rookies I was interested in, I started thinking about other cards that I could invest in and hold. So picked up some rookie cards from key future Hall of Famers. Luckily, I did buy these late last year and early this year before the recent price explosion on these. And some are worth around 3 to 4 times what I paid. Unfortunately, I'm priced out on many of these now, since so many new people have gotten into the hobby over the last few months, causing prices to spike. While I do see this as a good thing overall, I wish I had started buying slabs earlier than I did, so that I can have more in my collection. Of course, I did also get the rookie cards for Will Clark in PSA 10s. I do have these raw as part of my super collection, but figured it was good to get these graded and in pristine condition. I did get the Fleer Glossy and Topps Tiffany instead of the base cards, as these are quite a bit more rare and more premium sets than just the base cards. I haven't got too much into prospecting with graded cards since I don't do much selling or flipping, and it's more risky than I'm comfortable with to spend a lot on unproven players. But I have bought some cards of younger current stars. I also like to get more limited parallel versions when possible, and it's even better when they're serial numbered, but they aren't always. These cards have already gone up quite a bit in value since I picked them up. So far with the graded cards, I've only been buying cards that are already graded. I have been slowly going through my own collection of raw cards, looking for ones that would be good slab candidates. I haven't sent any off for grading yet, but plan to soon. Rather than do the submission myself, there's several guys that do bulk submissions, which will get another set of eyes on the cards to make sure that I'm sending ones that have the best chance to grade well, and it also gets me the best price for grading. When going through my cards, I'm not only looking at the condition of the card, but also looking up the recent value of what these sell for in a grade lower than I'm hoping to get. That way, if there's something wrong with the condition that I missed, since I'm new to this, I won't be spending more on grading than the card is worth. And if they grade higher, then I'll be psyched. These cards would all be for my personal collection rather than to sell. But it can provide a great return on investment if you're able to identify raw cards that would gem, get them graded, and then sell for a profit. This might be something I can do in the future when I'm more experienced with the process. But my main concern here is that I buy nearly all of my cards online, and without being able to inspect the card in person, just relying on the seller's picks, it's a bit scary to spend a large amount of money on a raw card, wait sometimes several months for it to come back, and then possibly be disappointed with a low grade. Well, this is something that I'll consider more when card shows are back again. So that does it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing this part of my collection, which I haven't really talked about or shown before. Be sure to let me know in the comments what your strategy is for buying raw versus graded cards. Thanks for watching. Please smash those like and subscribe buttons, and keep on collecting.